Hey guys, Clumsy here, and welcome back to a Clumsy Pilot's Life. It's been a while since the last episode, but I'm happy to announce that my favorite plane, the Toliss A321, is now compatible with Vulkan. That, and we have a couple of updates as well, a couple of new plugins, updates, and some progress in our career. So if I share with you, this is a pilot's life, and we are actually now senior first officers. Well, we are now a senior first officer. I just got promoted last night. I am very rusty though, so please don't expect too much. It's been weeks since I flew with this plane. I flew one practice flight last night and it did not go very well. So hopefully today it will do much better. But okay, we are currently in Guam and we will make our way back to Manila. So let's see. I have the plane set up. The flight plan is mapped. IRS is aligned. And I think we can actually go and request clearance from air traffic control. Ground Philippine 111, ready to copy IFR clearance.
Aircraft calling ground, say again with your call sign.
That's not a good start. Philippine 111 ready to copy IFR clearance.
Philippine 111 is cleared to
There you
Romeo
go.
Papa Lima Lima as filed. Expect departure runway 06 left. Climb and maintain 4,000 feet. Expect higher clearances
pretty
2
low.
minutes after departure. Squawk 5204.
I won't read that back.
Philippine 111 is cleared to Romeo Papa Lima Lima as filed. Climb and maintain 4,000 feet.
5204.
Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Squawk 5204.
Philippine 111 read back correct. QNH is 1014. Let us know when you're ready for pushback.
QNH 1014, Philippine 111. I think it's actually our first time as well flying the A321 now that we are employed by Philippine Airlines. So it's actually the first time I'm able to use this livery from Silk Air. Very nice. It's in the plugins list. Very detailed. You can see the flag there and the tail on the how do you call it, sharklet, and we have the registration number of the plane even on the nose wheel right there. Very nice attention to detail. We even have this, if I zoom in, that warning, do not walk outside this area. Very detailed livery. I like it. Perfect. And now I can finally use it in Vulkan. Let's go ahead and start the APU. I'll enable the track IR later. Oh, and speaking of track IR, there is an update to X camera. You can see it's completely different looking now. X camera 2.4. It's still in beta, but the developer has mentioned that it's more or less stable, so it's safe to try out. All of the existing settings are still there, but it's much better now in terms of user interface. No more clutter. Very easy to understand, and you can just show the advanced stuff if you feel like it, but the default ones are more than enough. Anyway, he has a very good tutorial there, and if you're using track IR at all, I highly recommend this plugin because the default track IR support from X-Plane really sucks. This one's very good. Flap is open. Let's go ahead and start that. At the same time, let's also get some pushback planning. Let me brief the departure first. So we are right here in terms of the airport. We should be pushing back facing to the west because we are departing via runway 06 left. And we'll have to go through probably just Kilo here in terms of taxi. Yeah, so in terms of pushback, let's go ahead. You can also hear the very subtle engine sound from the APU. Yeah, just very subtle. that it's starting up.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing.
Going through here. I also have new clouds, new cloud textures. He calls it a replace on, and it's become very famous the past few days, weeks. Especially now that Q8 Pilot is back.
Great
and
news, Captain. Your toe's coming.
Started using it as well. It's called Cloud Art, and we'll go and see how that looks later on. But yeah, from this view, even still 2D, but not much performance degradation as far as I can notice. APU bleed. Let's go and double check. In terms of the electricity, APU is available, but we're still currently connected to the external power. So what I can do is I can remove that. That will force us to switch to the APU exactly. And we are still good. Everything is still alive. So it looks like I did that thing correctly at least. Did I miss anything else? Maybe enable the constraints here.
Alright, looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
In terms of departure briefing, not really much to brief because we don't even have a departure on this airport. So we just take 06 left and we take whatever heading the ATC gives us, and from there we follow our flight plan. Okay, looking good. Ground Philippine 111 ready for pushback and engine start.
Philippine 111 pushback and engine start approved.
Pushback and engine start approved. Philippine 111. Turn on the beacons.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Toe's connected, bypass pins inserted. Go and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
That is perfect timing. Parking brakes off.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
Let's hope this works. Traffic Global is also working with Vulkan. I think we tested that in the previous video already when I was still flying the 737. TCAS still isn't working though, so we actually will not see any planes on our screens. And unfortunately, that also means our offline ETC software, Pilot to ATC, does not see any of these planes because it relies on the TCAS information. So we'll have to avoid the planes on our own. We'll see how that works. I still have reshade. That's without the reshade. That's with. Much more vibrant. Plugins list shows which reshade settings I'm using. But yeah, beware when you use reshade. Especially with, right now it's 11.50 beta 6. They actually disabled reshade because it was causing a lot of crashes. Did I turn on APU bleed? Yes, I did. Yes, N2 is climbing. Actually, the pressure is climbing. Yeah, I'm not that familiar how the IAE engines work, but this plane in reality has IAE engines, so I'm trying to mimic it. I'm more familiar with the CFM ones. That's engine 2 good to go. Engine 1, and we can hear the dog barking. The hydraulics being tested. If we go here, you should see hydraulics there, and the PTU, the transferring from the yellow to the green one. That's the sound that makes. The clouds look beautiful, don't they? They don't even appear 2D from this view. And no visible FPS impact at all. Cloud Art has a couple of different settings. I'll go through that later and what combinations I chose. I will let you know.
Just
Right.
about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
Parking brake is set.
And we're
Let's go
disconnecting
ahead
the tow.
and turn
Give me just a
off
moment.
the APU bleed and turn off the APU. Because we have two good engines here. And you can verify that over on this side. There we go. AC1, AC2. Gen 1 and Gen 2, green, all green. That's what we like to see. Good. And now I can turn off the ignition there. This time I didn't forget about it. Let's go ahead and check the flight controls. That's working, that is. There you go. Elevators. Ailerons. You can also see the speed brakes going up as you deflect the ailerons at a certain angle.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
Thank you. Rudder. And before I forget, the pitch trim, we also have to adjust that. Based on our calculations, down 0.4 should be the stabilizer, the trim we set. So let's go ahead and do that. Down 0.4, you can see it in the pitch trim right there. Oh, it disappeared right there. 0.4, that looks good. And interestingly enough, even though this runway is pretty long, 12,000 feet, maybe because we're so heavy, we're at 70.2 tons, I think, takeoff weight. Why does that guy not have any landing gears? Someone pressed the wrong button. But yeah, looking good. And yes, the calculations say use toga thrust. If you do that, it says no flex. Okay. Auto brake is max. Cabin check. Spoilers armed. Flaps to take off. And we'll see how that animates through here. Love that view. Yeah. And lastly, takeoff config test. Alright. Philippine 111 ready to taxi.
Philippine 111 taxi to runway 06 left via taxiways Kilo, Alpha, hold short runway 06 left.
Taxi to runway 06 left via taxiways Kilo, Alpha, hold short runway 06 left, Philippine 111. That's quite interesting. They actually told us to go until Alpha only.
111
and not
taxi to runway 06 left via taxiways Kilo, Alpha, hold short runway 06 left.
Okay, not sure why she repeated that, but okay. Kilo then Alpha, pretty straightforward. Literally. Okay, that's good. Parking brake off and off we go. Hear the engine starting to spool. Music to my ears. Runway takeoff lights. Taxi lights. Seat belts are on. Seatbelt signs. This is a default airport, so we don't have any of the fancy auto gates and stuff. I guess that's Kilo right there. Or this might be it. Should have followed that one here. Some flickering on the shadows. Still, that I think that needs to be tweaked. But yeah, pretty overcast skies right now. Super dark, and yes, this flickering is because of the cloud shadows. I think there's a setting that I can manipulate in the cloud art Lua file, the plugins, to make that more high resolution, less flickery, at the cost of FPS. I'll try and tweak that. I like how effective the shadows are though. You notice the difference of how the transition was. Before, when the clouds were thinner, you can see the sunlight seeping up from above, but now with full overcast shadows like this, You really see the darkness envelop the airport. Quite nice. So weather would be winds are 080 at 16 knots. Okay, pretty good headwind. We have clouds scattered at 2,000 feet. This doesn't seem like scattered only. Alright, fine. That's Delta. Go straight ahead. At any point now, they should be signaling us to switch to tower frequency. And I do have that ready over here, 118.1. Guam to Manila. Our flight today is normally going to take 5 hours, but I'm too impatient for that, so I will execute some maneuvers, let's call it, to quicken the flight. Oh, one more new plugin I have, although I'm not sure if it's visible here. I finally purchased SFD Global. That replaces the default textures, makes it more high resolution, and upgrades the autogen for many parts of the world, including most of Asia. So that's going to benefit us a lot with our flights when we go to areas which have no ortho photos. And the buildings in general will look much better. Looks pretty good. Pretty sleek, and as always, Toliss A321. Perfectly optimized, especially with how detailed it is. I don't understand how they can do that, but it's amazing. Alpha should be coming up soon. That's the one. Alright, let's follow that one. Now we should be switching over to tower already. They haven't given us the go signal yet. Okay, let's follow this one. Maybe that kilo over there is only
Philippine
for heavy
111
planes.
contact tower on 118.1.
There we go.
Enjoy your morning.
Tower on 118.1. Good morning, Philippine 111. Alright. Stop over here and set the parking brake. Tower Philippine 111 ready for departure, runway 06 left.
Philippine 111 with the 078 at 16 knots cleared for takeoff. Runway 06 left, maintain runway heading until above 1,200 feet, then turn left heading 245 to intercept course.
Oh, how can I remember all of that?
Cleared for takeoff, runway 06 left, maintain runway heading until above 1,200 feet, then left to 245 Philippine 111.
Runway heading and then 245. How do you set heading in the Toliss, in the A321? Well, we'll see. So we just keep it managed like this with the dot there, and then later we'll pull it to 245 after 1,000 feet. 1,200 feet to be more accurate. So I remember from the CFM engines, when you're going to take off, you first set it to around 50% thrust. Once the engines are stable, then you go to flex or toga depending on the setting. But here in IAE engines, I'm not really sure how that works, what number I should set it as. So let me just do it like this. That looks stable. Toga with the nose down. Try to keep center line. 80 knots. Let go of the forward pressure. There we go. Approaching. V1. Rotate. Easy does it. Positive rate, gear up. That looks beautiful. Look at those skies, guys. Let me see. 1,200 and we go to 245 on the heading.
Philippine 111 climb and maintain 12,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 12,000.
Aircraft calling towers, say again with your call sign.
Climb and maintain 12,000, Philippine 111. Panicking as you
Philippine
guys can
111
see.
contact Oakland Oceanic Center on 118.7. Have a good morning.
Center on 118.7 Philippine 111.
245 for the intercept. So far away. There we go. We're actually descending here. There we go. Slats up. Flaps up. And now we can start climbing again. Let me turn on the autopilot here so I don't panic so much. You can see there I lost all semblance of awareness. 118.7 is where we are advised to go to. Philippine 111 climbing to 12,000 feet. Gosh, I think it's already flight level. Philippine 111 climbing to flight level 120.
Philippine 111, good morning. Radar contact.
My goodness, that looks beautiful, doesn't it? Ground spoilers can now be disarmed. Seatbelts can now be turned off. Landing lights will remain on. Man, look at the reflections there. That is beautiful. That's the airport right there. Goodness, that looks great. Let's take a screenshot there. Yeah, those textures are SFD Global. They're not ortho photos. So they're a bit repetitive because they're not fully like satellite images, but they're much better than the default textures. Oh my goodness, look at these clouds, guys. Cloud art for the win. So yeah, maybe I can share more about that cloud art thing. Okay. So 245 to
Philippine
intercept.
111 contact Oakland Oceanic Center on 120.5. Have a good morning.
We can join the actual waypoints that we are set to go. Say again, Philippine 111.
Philippine 111 contact Oakland Oceanic Center on 120.5. Have a good morning.
120.5, Philippine 111. Good morning. Okay, there you go. It's nice. You can actually ask them to repeat when you missed something. Center, good morning. Philippine 111 climbing to flight level 120. I think I put the wrong frequency. It should be 120.5. Very rusty, but I'm loving the plane, loving the updates. We'll get there eventually. That's why you always have to be practicing. You lose these skills very quickly. Center, good morning. Philippine 111, climb to flight level 120.
Contact Oakland Oceanic Center on 118.7. Enjoy your morning.
118.7, Philippine 111.
Philippine 111, you were garbled.
We are getting
Please
thrown
say again.
back. Why were we descending a while ago? That was interesting. Lights can go off.
Philippine 111 contact Oakland Oceanic Center on 120.5. Have a good morning.
11,000 feet. Switch to standard altimeter. 120.5, Philippine 111.
Philippine 111 climb and maintain flight level 200.
Flight level 200, Philippine 111. Okay, we're still climbing. That's good. Let's see if they decided finally which frequency we should really stay at. Center, good morning. Philippine 111 climbing to flight level 200.
Philippine 111
There we
radar
go.
contact.
Good. Right, so from here it should be a steady climb. I'm loving the reflections on the water. That's something new with the Vulkan update, I believe. They finally made the reflections stand for something. These clouds look really beautiful, don't they? They're still 2D. Still not volumetric clouds, but given the negligible performance impact, I think it's more than worth it. So how it works, when you go to the cloud art webpage, it's in explain.org, and check out the plugins list there. There will be multiple versions in there. There's the normal one, there's the fast one, and there's the reshade version. If you are using Active Sky XP, the recommendation is to use the fast version, because I think Active Sky puts in a lot of clouds and it's a bit laggy if you couple it with the standard one. But for me personally, this is a bit of a hybrid what I'm using. I'm using the Cloud Art Fast textures, but the plugin file, the Lua file, I'm using the one from the normal one, because I found that the fast version is a bit too thin in terms of cloud layers. It's too reduced. I think it's reduced by half or something like that. So it's not as thick. Even in overcast, it's not really overcast looking, and I didn't like it. But this one is much better. So I'm using the fast textures but the normal Lua file. Right. Looking good there. We'll be climbing all the way to flight level 340. So 34,000 feet. That will be our cruising altitude. That will be around for 5 hours, but I won't stay that long. So I'll cut it, take care of it, and I will bring you guys back. But before that, I'll show you later. But yeah, let me just get these ready. Load up our charts. I'll take care of that later. Alright, the climb will continue from here, so catch you guys in a bit. Let's do a bit of flyby. It's for some dramatic action. I'll catch you guys in a few seconds. Welcome back. We are now cruising at flight level 340. Pretty smooth. Not even any clouds anymore. But so far so good. And I think I have to correct myself. I think I mentioned a while ago takeoff weight was 70.2 tons. No, that was not the takeoff weight. That was the zero fuel weight. Because even now we're still at 81.7 tons here. So I don't know what the takeoff weight was let me try and compute. 70.2 plus around 13.5, so around 83, 84 tons, maybe something like that. Not sure what the maximum takeoff weight is for this plane. But anyway, I wanted to show you something if you're not familiar with it yet. So if you're like me, you're an impatient guy and you cannot sit around for 5 hours on cruise like this. So this is the how the map looks like. We started off here on the right in Guam, make our way to Manila. That's going to be 3 hours still before we get to Manila, and I cannot wait that long. I'm too impatient for that. So I can either press Alt T for the ground speed, and that will increase our speed. That will allow the travel to go much faster, 4 times faster. Or as part of Toliss, I can actually go and jump to the next 100 miles or the next waypoint, whichever is closer. If you go to here, sounds, actions, joystick, jump to next waypoint. That makes you jump like so. And that jumps you to like 5 or I think 1 mile away from the waypoint. See, and from there you can jump 100 miles more. Now we are getting some clouds in. So it's a very fast way of traveling. So you don't have to wait the entire time. And it's very useful if you're someone like me with a very limited schedule and you want to fly but you cannot wait the entire time. And it's great because that's actually compatible with the pilot's life. It's not like detecting that you're cheating, unlike FS Economy, where if you like quote unquote teleport, it will record that and it will finish the job. Here, it is recognized that you are now in a different location, and because the pilot's life software records the real life time of real life flight time, it doesn't really matter if you teleport or not, or if you make the speed faster. It just measures how much time you were flying in real life. So you teleport, you get to your destination faster, but as a result you get less XP, and that's the side effect, and that's fine because that's really how it happened, right? So for me, that's a great tool. It's not that finicky, it's not too strict, and it just measures real flight time. Very useful for me. Anyway, I'll continue with this approach, and I'll bring you guys back when we are closer to top of descent or when we have started our descent, so I can brief you with the arrival, right? Let's do one more flyby because why not? I'll catch you guys in a minute. Love those contrails. Yikes. Okay, so it looks like I still have this bug of the flickering far distance. Oh, it's gone now. I think it got shy from you guys, but you might have noticed it a few seconds ago. I still have that, and that only started appearing as of the Vulkan update. So I'm not sure if you guys have found a fix for it, or if that's a reported issue. Can you let me know in the comments? That's pretty irritating. Thankfully it's gone now. Alright, see you guys in a sec. Welcome back. We are close. We are around 40 miles away from top of descent, and I have been notified by the FMS that we should enter the destination data now. So let's do this. So looking at active sky, QNH is 1009 in Naiya International Airport. Temperature over there is 30 degrees Celsius. Winds are calm. And the MDA minimum decision altitude is 280 feet. That's the one here. ILS approach, the decision altitude 280. From what I learned, the decision height, this one using radio, is only used for Cat 2 or Cat 3 approaches. So normally you would use the MDA, right? So with that, our approach speed would be 148 knots with the landing speed at 143.
Philippine 111 expect the Alba 3 Romeo arrival with the Albert transition for the ILS approach to runway 06 at Ninoy Aquino International cleared direct Albert.
Expect the Alba
That's
3
the one.
Romeo arrival with the Albat transition for the ILS approach to runway 06 cleared direct Albat Philippine 111.
So this is Albat 3 Romeo. We are currently close to Albat. That's the start of the arrival. Let's go ahead and compare if that is consistent with what we have here in the flight plan. So it says Albat max 250 knots above flight level 160. That's okay. We don't have the speed limit though, do we? Maybe that's only when you're 10,000 feet. But for some reason that max 250 isn't recognized in the flight plan. I can plug that in manually, but that's okay. The 230 max here at Natay though, that is plugged in automatically. Speed constraint 230. Well, you know what? Let's do that. Let's make it proper. If it says that in the chart, then let's follow it. Put a speed constraint here, 250 at Albat. That should create a speed limit change beforehand. Okay, that's good. So we will be 250 knots at Albat. Perfect. Next, we go to 13, where the max is 210. Is that plugged in? Yes, it is. And then at the YM, the max is... I don't think we go through there. No. My bad. It should be at 13, and from there we are already going to the approach charts right here. And I think because we are approaching it directly, we will be given vectors by air traffic control from 13. We'll be given vectors so that we can join the ILS approach here to runway 06. Right? But I think that should be all set. Alright. Looking good there. Over on this side, clouds have come up again. Oh, that looks so good. That just looks so natural, doesn't it? And silky smooth. There is a bit of hit on the frame rates. I'm not at 60 FPS, but still very smooth. I like it. I can make it fast. I can use the fast clouds, but that will lessen, I think, the density of the clouds, and I don't like that. If it's overcast, I like it really looking overcast. Alright, let's see. Top of descent is actually 10 miles away. Okay, great. But yeah, I guess I can take care of this. I'll bring you guys back when we are close to the approach. One more flyby. Can't have enough flybys. Why not? Bringing you guys back for the descent because we've just been given instructions by air traffic control to cross Albat at flight level 275.
We'll cross Albat at flight level 275, then descend via the Alba 3 Romeo arrival with the Albat transition
So
to 2,500 feet. QNH is 1009er Philippine 111.
Plug that in there. And then we can say join and start the descent. I'll fix the altitude later. That will be at up to 2,500 feet is what air traffic control gave us, so we can actually go and descend up to that level. 2,500. There you go. Oh, that's a pretty steep descent. We're catching up because we started our descent a bit late as compared to what the flight plan was having. ATC gave us instructions a bit later. So now it's trying to catch up. But what I found, these calculations are very accurate. They're very smart. And it is able to reach most of these constraints that you put in as long as you set reasonable ones. Looks like this one though. It's colored. Is that yellow? That means we won't be able to reach those constraints in time. So and then I'm not sure how that works, but I think it's starting to adjust bit by bit and trying to catch up so that we are at flight level 275 by the time we reach Albat, because that's what we told it to do. Yeah, so you can see here in our PFD, we are starting our descent and we have a constraint there, altitude constraint there, flight level 275. So what's mentioned here, that's the vertical restriction we put at Albat. And now we are leveling off, looks like. Climbing even? That's interesting. Now that's weird. It's probably doing that so it will reach Albat. We can reach Albat at flight level 275. So it probably descended a bit too fast. Maybe there's a wrinkle in the logic. We do have a speed constraint as well of 250 knots. So that might also be part of it. But right now we're still in max speed because of our altitude, so it's a bit finicky, that one. Flight level 265, we'll be crossing Albat at 265 instead of 275. We'll see if the computer is smart enough to adjust as necessary. That was a bit weird though, wasn't it? Descending and then climbing. Maybe that kind of combination that I put in is not so supported. Oh man, but that looks so good. Especially with the reflections in these clouds. Now these are ortho photos that I have. I have ortho photos for most of Manila. So these should look less repetitive at least. So let's just see what the computer systems can do. If we can match that. Still yellow, still orange, but we're coming pretty close to 275. The suspense is real. Yeah, I think it's going to manage. So we're 3 miles away. We're at flight level 280. And yeah, there's the cap right there, flight level 275. Crossing at flight level 275 and then descending like crazy so we can catch up to the vertical plan. Yeah. Constraint, altitude constraint has been reached. There we are. And now we're starting our descent again. Very weird, I know. But if we look over here, progress, we're actually 2,000 feet above the ideal vertical plan. But I think we can catch up to that. So we'll see how it goes. I'll bring you guys back. Oh, that's beautiful. And we're close to approach. Wow. That's the airport right there. Beautiful. Should be coming pretty close. We're now at actually transition flight level 1009. Switching to local QNH. Performance over on this side, bit heavy, but yeah, this is with the Mega Manila Scenery by CloudSurf Asia simulations. Very detailed. You can see how dense the buildings are, how packed they are. Couple that with the airport. Beautiful. Do we have planes? Yeah, we do. We have a lot actually. We don't have anything in TCAS, because that's the limitation right now with Vulkan in Traffic Global. But hopefully that will be fixed soon, because I think with the next X-Plane release, they are introducing a different TCAS mechanism so that the plug-in makers like Traffic Global and other makers can link with that, and we don't have to rely on AI planes anymore. So something more robust, hopefully. Air Asia right there. Emirates. Oh, looking forward to the day when this becomes a reality again, because at the moment I don't think the skies are filled with planes. Goodness, that looks good. Alright, we'll leave it there. Now the problem will be the landing. I'm going to warn you now, it's not going to be pretty, guys. I did some landings yesterday, some practice landings. None of them were terribly good. Some of them were passable, but yeah, I think it will require a lot more practice for me to get rid of my rustiness. Especially the flare. I've forgotten how to flare. Maybe it's a bit different with the IAE engines. Haven't really flown with these kinds of engines before, but it's most probably just my skill and the lack thereof, that is. Getting rusty.
Philippine 111 turn right heading 267 vectors to the ILS approach for runway 06 at Ninoy Aquino International, descend and maintain 4,000 feet.
Turn right heading 267, descend to 4,000 feet, Philippine 111. Let's continue the descent like so. 267, 4,000 feet. That looks good. So this is what I was saying. So we'll be given vectors so that our approach to the runway is not as sharp as it is. I normally is, like this one. From 13, that will be a very sharp right turn, like a right angle 90-degree turn. Air traffic control will make it that more
Philippine
ideally.
111 turn right heading 272.
Turn right heading 272, Philippine 111. So that will be more gradual, more curved. Did I forget to... Yes, I did forget to turn on the lights. Let me just turn everything on so I don't forget anything else later on. Seatbelt signs can go on. The no smoking signs. I'm not sure why you would have
Philippine
an on and
111 turn
auto.
right heading 336, descend and maintain 3,500 feet.
Let me first focus on this one. Turn right heading 336, descend to 3,500 feet, Philippine 111.
Philippine 111 cleared for ILS to runway 06, fly heading 034 to intercept final descent and maintain 2,500 feet.
Let the guy read that back, that's too long for me.
Cleared for ILS approach to runway 06, fly heading 034, descend and maintain 2,500 feet, Philippine 111.
Let's turn on the landing scales. We should be capturing the ILS, there you go. Localizer, we are bang on the glide slope, but that will change later. Alright. Let me go ahead and tune the tower already. They'll probably hand us over in a bit. That should be 118.1. And over on this side, perf.
Philippine 111 QNH is 1009er at Ninoy Aquino International Contact Tower on 118.1. Enjoy your morning.
Tower on 118.1, Philippine 111. Tower, good morning. Philippine 111 inbound for runway 06.
Philippine 111, this is Manila Tower on 118.1. Please repeat your request.
I actually missed. Dang it. I missed my intercept. I'll have to do that manually. I was so preoccupied with the other tasks. This is why you have two pilots.
Eva 108, traffic, Airbus 330, landing roll, runway 16 left, clear time.
Philippine 111 inbound for the ILS approach to runway 06.
Philippine 111, good morning. Radar contact. Continue ILS to runway 06, call when established on final.
We'll call when established on final, Philippine 111.
Philippine 111, this is Manila Tower on 118.1. Please repeat your request.
It's going to be tricky. Come on, we can make this work. Start extending the flaps. I'm hoping for this localizer to adjust. Go with the approach. There we go, localizer, glide slope. Perfect, okay, just in time. That was tricky. Let's get that to 4,000 feet, which is the missed approach altitude. And let's report to ATC. Philippine 111 established on ILS runway 06.
Philippine 111 with the light and variable cleared to land runway 06.
Clear to land runway 06, Philippine 111. Good. Alright. Landing gear down. Auto brake low. Seatbelt signs are on. Inform the cabin crew. Spoilers are armed. And let's go ahead and set up our flaps.
Eva 108, now right, Bravo 6, contact ground 121.85.
Wish me luck, guys. I'll need it. Thankfully, the winds are not that wild. Because if we had such strong crosswinds, I don't think I'll have a chance at it. Decision altitude is 280 feet. Continuing to extend our flaps. There we go. Flaps are full. And now it's a matter of slowing down to our approach speed, which is 146 knots. There we go. That is looking awesome. Man, look at the reflections on the water. Beautiful. Come on. I'm going to disconnect the autopilot at a bit later time. Maybe catch up to it. Alright, that looks good. Alright, there we go. There is actually a plane. I should be going around, but
300.
Looking at the line there, that will never end. Look at the line of planes.
200.
Glide slope.
100.
Glide slope.
Quiet.
50. 40. 30. Retard. 10. 5.
That was not bad at all.
Philippine 111 exit runway when able.
Lucky. We didn't follow the glide slope perfectly, but all in all, I think it was good. I'll take that. Reversers to idle. Stow reversers and switch to manual braking. Let's go ahead and turn on this side here. That was actually pretty good. I'm happy with that landing. Let's watch that in a bit.
Orange Center 410 preceding traffic Airbus 320 underground runway 16 clear down.
That is amazing. I like that. Flaps up. Clear of active Philippine 111.
Philippine 111 contact ground on 121.35. Have a good morning.
And as always, I won't contact ground anymore because they'll just lead us to somewhere far away in terms of the landing. Turn off landing lights, switch to taxi lights. Let's start our APU. Strobe should be set to auto. We can go ahead and switch off TCAS. Let's go ahead and find a parking right there. That looks like a happy place. Lots of planes. My marker right here is at the center of the taxiway that is aligned with this dot right here. That should land us perfectly in the middle. Yeah, this one should be good. Start the APU. Man, I love this plane. Sometimes I kind of miss the automation or the manual stuff that the 737 brings, because everything is automated with this plane. No more tuning of VORs, no more tuning of approach courses, but it's still good. No complaints there. Ah, it's a full flight. Goodness, where the heck am I going to park now? Normally we will be assigned a gate, but right now, with pilot to ATC and traffic global not synchronizing with each other, well, in the end we're on our own anyway. That's a bit troublesome. APU is available at least. In terms of temperature, 260 degrees, no, 340 degrees on the tires. Quite hot, but not enough to blow off or anything, so we should be safe there. Low auto brakes helped us in a lot of headwind. Alright, man, loving X-Plane. Happy to be back and so happy with Vulkan. Goodness, it's really full, huh? I think it will take ages for us to taxi like this. Well, I'll go ahead and look for a gate to park at, and I'll see you guys back when it's time to shut down the plane and watch the replay. Don't ask. Whoa! Where did that guy come from? I actually stole this gate from someone. I think they just finished taxiing or finished pushing back or something. But that should be fine. I wonder where that plane came from though. But good thing they're gone. A321, so AutoGate is able to detect that stop. Perfect. And set the parking brake. That looks good, and we can turn off. Oh, which one do we turn off first? Engine 1 or 2? I forgot even. Engine 1, I guess. APU is available. That's being used now, supposedly. Yeah, looking good. Lovely. In terms of the logbook, it's saying I landed at 222 feet per minute. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, I'm more than happy with that. Looking good. Alright, let's go ahead and watch the replay. I just love how fast the replay is now with Vulkan. Minimal stutters. So easy to replay. Here we are. Final approach. 50, 40, 30, 20. See where we land. Oh, that's almost at the touchdown zone. And right bang on the center line. Super lucky. I can tell you, this was very far from my landing yesterday. So you guys must be my lucky charm. Reversers, everything looking good. Oh my goodness, that was perfect. Well, thank you guys for flying with me today. Hoping for more episodes, more flights with the Toliss. And if you have suggestions, let me know. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and comment. That really helps me out. Catch you in the next episode, guys. Clumsy flying, and bye-bye.